Have you found yourself feeling drained, feeling low-elled, feeling perplexed?
Yes, sir.
Do you find yourself coming to the campus or going to church, getting an emotional high,
All right.
going through the spiritual aerobics, saying the nice Christian cliches, but when you leave and go home, and the light bill, water bill, and the gas bill are there waiting on you,
Come on, talk to me.
your child will not act right,
Come on, talk to
your
me.
husband, if you have one, won't do right,
Come on, talk to me.
your wife doesn't like you, or you might be single,
Well,
and you're tired of walking into the same space and place with no one to greet you there but the cat, or the dog, or the television.
all right.
Are you at that place where when holidays come, they become more problematic? They no longer hold meaning. They no longer, I'm going to get to the text, just stay with it. Have you come to this place that Christmas comes and Easter comes and the bunny rabbit no longer really gets you started and the candy no longer tastes the same and the parties no longer get you to a place to where you really can enjoy life? Have you come to that point yet?
Yeah.
Have you come to the point to where you're tired of the songs and by the choir and the praise team?
Yes, sir.
Have you come to the point to where you wonder about your own prayers? I'm going to get to the text. Just stay with me. Have you come to that place where you start questioning, God, where are you in the midst of my predicament and in the midst of my life? I'm tired of people coming and they want to give you a scripture when your heart is broken and your mind is confused and the world is running in too fast and you don't know which way to go and you don't know where to do or what to do. Have you ever come to that point where your text starts out with the people who have followed Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth as you call him, and he went on the cross, and they hung him high, and they stretched him wide, and they took him down, and they put him in the tomb, and we don't know what's next.
Come on, talk to me.
They're there, and we hurriedly had to put him in the ground.
All right.
So we really didn't have an opportunity to grieve.
Wow.
We didn't have an opportunity to process the pain and the loss and the disappointment. We hurriedly got him in the ground. We rolled the stone. And then we went home. And we thought we would come back afterwards. So we went and hurriedly got spices so that his body won't stink. But we can't go until the Sabbath day passes. And so I got to sit in my pain.
Wow.
I got to sit in my disappointment. I can't hurry and do what I want to do. I got to sit.
Yes, yes.
Maybe the reason that the power of the church has lost is because we have not been taught how to sit in our pain and sit with our disappointment and sit with our hurts and sit with our frustrations. Maybe we've been taught to run through them or taught, stop looking at that, stop dealing with that, just let it go.
All right.
Because they got a day that they got to sit. I'm going to get to the text. Just stay with me. They got a day that they got to sit and wait. What do you do when God makes you sit and wait? It ain't Satan that's got to wait. It's God, because God's law said on the Sabbath you can't do anything. So God's got to just sit.
Come on.
So they wait. And they're getting ready to go finish burial ritual. Maybe some of the reason why we are spiritually constipated
right.
is because we have not processed or finished the burial ritual
Come on.
on some things in our lives
Yes, yes.
and some perceptions that we had about Christ and about God.
All right.
Maybe God is bringing us back to those places so we can bury some understandings that has choked off our faith and won't allow us to see God in a new way. Listen to the text.
Well,
But on the first day of the week, at early dawn, they came to the tomb. They came to the tomb, the place where you put dead things. Do you know that before you can move forward, psychotherapists will tell you gotta go back to the place where you done buried some dead things. You gotta come back to that place. Not stay stopped there, but you gotta go back and reevaluate why that stuff didn't work for you. Because until you evaluated why it won't work for you, you're gonna keep revisiting it, trying to make it work for you. So God says, I got to bring you back to this place where you buried some things. Even some understandings of Christ and of God. Because some of us are still sitting with old perceptions. It didn't work in 1950. It didn't work in 1960. It didn't work in 1970. Some of us still waiting on the prophecy from the prophet that came 15 years thinking we gonna manifest it. And God brings us back to those places to tell us that was not my word, that is not for you, that was not supposed to guide your life. Come back to the tomb. Because they got to finish the burial ritual. They found a stone rolled away. And that's the thing that bothered me. Brother Johnson, this just bothered me. The stone is rolled away. And they go into the tomb. It seems like if the stone had been rolled away, I would have took off running. But the Romans still had running. I ain't going into no closed-up place. Plus we women, so why would we go into a closed place when the Romans raped folks and killed folks? Why would I go into a place?
Come on.
I just asked these questions.
All right, come on.
Until your curiosity overwhelms your fear, you'll never step back into the confront your situation. So one of the reasons why your situation keeps overwhelming you is because you don't come with questions. You don't come with inquiry. You don't come with questions to find out. Because if I come with questions, asking them about the situation, why didn't this work? How did I get myself in it? Not how did somebody else trick me? How did I get myself into this situation? What did they cause me to deceive and lie to myself? They caused me until you come with the question, you'll never overcome the fear and the brokenness to understand how you got you in this situation.
All right.
The question, the curiosity. That's the reason why a lot of us, when we start doing theology, we back up because we're too afraid of the questions, because of the questions and where the questions will take us.
There you go.
The second part is your anxiety won't allow it.
All right.
That's some therapeutic stuff.
All right.
See, anxiety raises up in you. When you step into it, you got to be ready because it's going to change you. It's going to change the situation. And you got to do something with whatever it is that's changing you. And a lot of us like where we are because we don't want to deal with the change. Because the change causes me to have to shift my perception of me and everybody else. I don't start talking about what I can't do. I start talking about what I have to do. So my anxiety.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Where you getting that from? It's right in there. Why they want to put a flag?
All right. There you go.
That's why you really question
Come on now.
that God started showing, because it's why they were perplexed. Gotta look at the text. The text says while they were in the question, daring to ask the question, that's when the angel showed up and gave them that heart.
That's right. All right. Go ahead.
Two men in dazzling clothes stood beside them. Wait a minute, where were they? Where were they? They standing beside the house, and they just automatically showed up.
All right.
You just started recognizing that they didn't, but you daring to ask a question.
All right. Go ahead.
Some of you are missing what God is doing because you're blaming Satan about what you're going through. Instead of healing to God, trying to reveal something to you.
All right.
Done with this. It's time for me to move on and to step into who God really called me to be. You came to a dead place to recognize that the living ain't here. So if the living ain't here, now it's time for you to move from here and start walking into the newness that God has for you. How do you get that? Because all of a sudden, they started remembering who God really was and what God always in the text. Okay. They don't just ask him the question. Listen to it. He's not here, but he's risen. Remember how he told you. What? Remember. Bring to your remembrance what he said while he was still in Galilee. While y'all was still with him. Remember, he told y'all these things were going to happen. See, the first thing it does is it reminds you by carrying you back to the calling and the instructions. When you come to those dead places, it'll carry you back. Wait a minute, I ain't supposed to be here. Why ain't you supposed to be here? Because I was never called to this. Huh? Why were you in this relationship? Because he looked good? The jeans fit tight? I was lonely, I was scared, it was all right. I thought that would be okay. So I ended up hooking it up, talking about God led me to you, and God ain't never said anything about all that. See, it'll bring you back. Because all of a sudden you'll stop lying to yourself. All this stuff that you're doing right now. Well, I'm so lonely, I really wish I could have. I think I'll call so-and-so. Wait a minute, the number is 770-950. I do remember that number. We'll call and see. And when you go back to those dead places, you'll start remembering all the nights you cried, all the nights that you sat there by yourself with your head. You'll remember when you had to sit in there and the doctor had to give you some news. You'll remember the time he gave you a black eye. You'll remember the time that she took all your money. You'll remember the time that she lied on you and you called. You'll remember the time when things fell apart. You remember the time when God blessed you with some finances and you took them and you ran down to the Shake 'em Up Club and you drunk it up. You remember the time when you began to start saying, I don't need that anymore. I remember. You'll remember. You'll remember the time when you was hitting that doobie and somebody walked up and was about to take you out of here, and God calls you to be resurrected right at that moment. You will remember. And that'll tell you, wait a minute, that's a dead place in my life. I don't need to come back to that. Remember. It's time for some of y'all to leave some dead places. So just give me a minute and I'm going to walk this thing out.
Come on now.
In my life, recently, God had to pause me.
All right.
During this last semester, I went home during Thanksgiving. I went home because I was going to visit my parents. I had been pastoring a church in Macon, and knew that I was supposed to devote myself to teaching. But I was too afraid because I needed the finances. Instead of trusting that the same God who had seen me through Vanderbilt, through United, who had seen me through a heart attack, who had seen me through throat surgery for cancer, who had seen me through a gallbladder that they cut me into, I had forgotten. I thought that I could do a better job. And so God had a way of bringing me back to a dead place. Because when I got down there, I got with my parents, and I was sitting there for Thanksgiving and couldn't eat. And my mother said, "Baby, your color does not look right." And I said, "Well, I'm okay. I'm just tired. I'm just doing a lot. She said, "Baby, your color does not look." There's something about a mother. They know the complexion. They know this, baby, your color, not my eyes, not my walk. She said, "Your color don't look right." I said, "I'm gonna be okay." So I went upstairs and laid down. I laid down. My wife came up there. There's something about a mother and a wife. They get together and so my mother and my wife, who usually is easy going, came up there. She said, "You don't look any better. Not if you don't feel any better. If you don't look any better, we go into the clinic tomorrow." I said, "Well, we're out of network." I said, "We'll get back to it now." I said, I'll go. So I woke up the next morning, walked downstairs, and still couldn't eat. My mother said, "Baby, your color doesn't look right." My wife said, "That's it." And I didn't want to say, because men, we don't say, "I feel well." I just said, "Okay." Just to satisfy y'all. So I went over to them and I sat out there. I'm drinking everything that I can. I'm taking every cough medicine that I can. Trying to eat everything, but the cough has become a dry habit. So I go there finally in the bathroom. The lady said, "What's going on?" So I told her. She put the oxygen monitor on my finger. She looked. And she said, "You stay right here." I said, "Okay." So then the doctor says, "So how long has this been going on?" I said, "Been off and on. My wife." "Oh, he done had this for a while." It's been going on for months. This is it.
There you go.
I said, "Well, just give me something and I'll head back to Atlanta." The little nurse and the doctor said, "You'll never make it." I said, "I'm 5 hours away, so you'll never make it. Your oxygen level is so low that you will close your eyes, and that will be it." She said, "We've already called over to the hospital, and they are waiting." Be careful that God don't stop you.
Oh my God.
All right.
Because if you don't revisit dead places and spaces, the dead spaces and places will rise up. My need and my inability to trust God was about to kill me. So I get over to the hospital, and they take a needle that's this long, and they said, "We're going to try to deaden the area." That was the first word. We're going to try. But we've got to get this needle into your lung because we need to draw the fluid off your lung. Because we can't see your lung. That's how much fluid is in your lung. So they take off 3 liters of fluid out of my lung. I'm going to get somewhere. Just stay with me. And the next morning, when I'm sitting there trying to heal, the doctor comes in with the surgeon and they say, we have a problem. We took 3 liters off your lungs. And the test that we took this morning said you done produced that and more. They said, so what we got to do is we got to go in and we got to peel your lung.
What?
And drain the fluid off your lung. So the surgical procedure that I had was for them to peel my lung to where all of the fluid had infected certain parts of my lung. And then drain it. That was the only way I could stand here today and still struggle. He said, what has that got to do with anything? Dead places and spaces don't just lay there.
All right.
They produce more.
Come on now. There you go.
They produce more that choke you out.
All right.
Some of you have laid around and allowed the dead spaces and places produce. And it's choking off the vision and the purpose and the calling that God has for you.
Bless your heart.
And this morning, as you prepare yourself for resurrection, it's time for you to revisit them places and to finally anoint those places and to move on. Because when you can't breathe, you can't live. And if you don't get some of that stuff out of you that's choking you, you never gonna be you. And God is calling you to be you, the you that God created from the beginning of the world. So if you ready to be you, it's time for you to go back to that space and place and to speak life into those dead places and remind them you are a child of God and that God has a special purpose for your life. And today